Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So today I'm going to show you how to tame an unruly fire. Now this is something that I see a lot of beginners do, and it's very frustrating to work in a coal fire sometimes when you don't know how to properly control the flame of the fire. Now a lot of times you'll see me break open a fire like this, and in the winter it's great because you can stay warm right by the flames, right? But in order to do good forging or be able to get good forge welding heats and things like that out of your fire, you have to have a nice compact fire, almost like a cave. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we stop this fire from spreading all over the place like it's doing right now, where it's just this big uproar of flame? The easiest way to do this is you want to find all your little coke pieces and you want to shove them to the center. Find all your little breeze and coke pieces, pile them up into the center, okay? And then you want to rake the green coal up along the sides of those coked pieces from all sides, okay? And as you see, it's still quite a bit of flame. Now, if you don't have the luxury, which I don't right now, of having a coal swab or a dipper can to cool off the edges of the fire, and in some blacksmithing clubs that's discouraged, one of the best things you can do, oh, and if you're asking, why don't you have your swab, Roy? Well, it's frozen right now in my slack tub, solid, so not getting that out. A lot of clubs will discourage the fact because you can crack a fire pot if you use a dipper can on the coal itself. So one of the easiest ways to maintain this fire is you have got to remember, fire needs oxygen in order to burn, right? So you need the oxygen and you need the fuel. If you have the fuel but no oxygen, you get no burn. Likewise, if you have all oxygen and no fuel, you get no burn. So the way that we maintain this down to a much smaller fire is we just take a handy dandy coal shovel and we pack not on top of the fire but down around the edges of that fire, the coal. And if you pack your coal, depending on the size that you got, if it's broken up small like this, and especially if it has a lot of fines or fine coal dust in it, this works even better. You just pack down around the sides of your fire. Now if we give it a second for these flames to get subdued, and get that nice and packed down, now I've got a fire I can still work in. So I'll go ahead and put a piece of material in there. Doesn't matter. This is a fairly big piece of material. I want you to see how quickly this thing heats up. So I just put that in cold. Move that out of the way. And now see how the fire is much more condensed? And there's almost like these blue flames coming out of there. That is the coke that is on fire and not just the green coal. And as long as you keep this nice and packed tight, the fire has to get really intense because the oxygen coming up through the fire has to be directed right through the center of where you're wanting it to be heated. Not always is this possible because sometimes you want to forge a large plate of steel or some awkward object and you can't get it this tight. But if you just give it a second here, get this good and hot, get some air running through it, you can see how handy that method is of keeping this packed down. It keeps a much smaller fire than what we started with. This will also help you in keeping your forge from burning too much coal. That's the other problem beginners struggle with, is burning too much coal. You burn too much coal and it eats you out of house and home, and you're like, well, I can't really forge because it takes me, hundreds of pounds of coal a week, and it's getting costly. So, as you can see here, I'm burning very little coal, and there you are. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. There you have it. So I spent That's less than maybe a minute it took to get that up nice and hot like that. Now let's take it all the way up to a welding heat. I'm gonna get it up in here. And with this nice compact fire, you can do this, you see? Because you're directing the heat, you're telling the flame where you want it. That is key. So let me get this good and hot. And now that's a welding heat. It's literally at a welding heat. So like I said, it doesn't take that long to get metal hot when you've got a good hot isolated fire. Okay? So I hope that'll help you guys out there. Hope that'll help somebody who is maybe struggling with their coal forge a little bit. If it does, let me know in the comment section and give me that big thumbs up. I appreciate the likes or the dislikes. And like I always say, God bless you, and we'll catch you on the next one.